What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Ritz here to talk some NBA prop plays over on PrizePicks for Saturday, March the 25th. We have a slightly smaller slate today, but some pretty good games that I am excited for. So let's dive into all of that right now. For all the high-flying action, take a step back and relax. It's time to count that money. The NBA props, no look any further. You know what time it is. Presented by PrizePicks, NBA props. Let's
count that money, man.
Speaking of good games, this wasn't exactly what I had in mind, but the Brooklyn Nets are taking on the Miami Heat, and Nick Claxton does seem poised for an over for his points, rebounds, and assists at 20.5. It is minus 135 on DraftKings Sportsbook. The matchup isn't the best, but at the same time, Miami isn't really playing the best either. We have Nick Claxton for 25.8 over his last 5, so pretty solid average, well below his prop line right now. And the 100 possession data has him for 22.9. So again, a little bit lower than he's been playing. He's playing a bit above his head, but based on his season's numbers, he should be right around that 23 mark, which is obviously well north of that 20.5. You see that we have this projected pretty heavily for and over, and the reason why is because of the standard dev. The standard error for him is only 2.9 over the last 5 games, so he has been very consistent. So he's not just going over, but he's going over very consistently and not a wide spread in terms of his range of outcomes. So he's been staying anywhere between that 22 and 28 threshold, which again is still well north of 20.5. The matchup isn't the best, but the books do see him going over, so I would trust the over here and take Nick Claxton's points, rebounds, and assists over. Fantasy score over looks good too, but points, rebounds, and assists was the better number in the model. We like Jamal Murray's fantasy score up against Milwaukee today. This should be an awesome game, assuming everyone plays, because maybe some guys will rest, but massive game between the Denver Nuggets and the Milwaukee Bucks. Jamal Murray has been playing very well. You see fantasy score of 36.3 over the last 5, but projected based on the 100 possession data of 41.4. And in the game against Milwaukee, he's going to have to probably do a lot. They're going to take the ball out of Joker's hands as much as possible. Really, obviously, will play through Joker, but Jamal Murray will have to step up in terms of scoring, and hopefully he can get a few assists, maybe a cheap steal or block here or there. I don't know how many blocks Jamal Murray has. Can't imagine it's too many, but definitely steals are in play in the game that should be fairly fast-paced, 102 possessions here. And obviously, two great teams in the NBA facing off each other should be very close, should be tight, and hopefully the Stars play a lot of minutes to go over in this one. Again, they are 19th in terms of allowing fantasy points to opposing point guards, and Murray can definitely get that done. A little bit high for Murray at 36, but I think he can get it done, and as you can see, the averages kind of do say he does have a pretty good shot of going over, pretty consistent as well with a 2.4 standard dev. Tyler Hero over his threes at 2.5. He's hit this in 7 of his last 10 games. And on top of that, it's minus 130 on DK Sportsbook. So I do like that quite a bit. He's been averaging 2.8. So again, over most of the time. And 100% data says he should be right around 3.3. The Brooklyn Nets are 23rd in the NBA at defending threes to opposing shooting guards. So I do like Hero to go over. He just needs to make his shots. It feels like I take Hero. He doesn't hit it that often, but this one does look pretty good against Brooklyn. We'll see how they play on defense, how they ultimately play him, but he's got a pretty good shot of going over. 2.5 is always a number I like for Hero. He's a guy who can put up 4, put up 5. So it's not like I only need him to put up 3 to get a hit, but he's a guy that has much higher upside than just that. So always like that from a volume shooter. Then CJ McCollum under his points and assists at 26.5. This number's just a little bit too high. The Clippers, we'll see if Paul George plays in this one. He did not play in the last game against Oklahoma City, but they all are also second best in the NBA at not allowing points and assists to opposing shooting guards. So that's not great for McCollum. And on top of that, he's been only averaging 23 over the past 5 games. 100 possession data says he should be closer to 25.8, which again is still under that 26.5 mark. So for me, it's an underplay. I don't take a lot of underplays. You guys know that. The spread is a little bit wider at 4.7, but I think it's an underplay that could definitely come into fruition. We saw Shea just go under his points and assists when I picked it. So we're going the other direction. We are taking the under on CJ McCollum at 26.5 points and assists. Happy to do it. Love CJ, but probably not going to hit this number. So that's what we're taking today. If you tail, give PrizePicks tail, and if we fail, do not bail. Nick Claxton over his points, rebounds, and assists at 20.5. Jamal Murray over his fantasy score at 36. Tyler Hero over his threes at 2.5. And CJ McCollum under his points and assists at 26.5. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to drop us a like and subscribe for all future content. I will see you guys in the next video, probably on Monday. I'm out. Peace.